Hello everybody and welcome back. I really hope that you enjoyed the previous video I had with Leo. I always love having him. He's becoming a really good friend of mine. He also showed me this amazing new ice cream place that's actually pretty close to where I live. And, which is dangerous because I like food. Which actually nicely segues into what I'm gonna talk about today. For me, when I celebrate API Heritage Month, I want it to be a time where I look within myself and it's not about like being angry at other people, even though, you know, it was formed because we are so little represented, so sure, but it's also a revolutionary act to like just be happy and content with yourself as a person of color and someone that's disenfranchised by this white society. I still got social justice on you. So today we're going to be talking about food, because my life is basically just social justice and being pissed at people and food, which kind of goes hand in hand because like when I get angry, I stress eat, and then you know, so when I talk about social justice, I get hungry. But I more specifically wanted to talk about the type of food that really makes me feel connected to where I come from. Because for those of you who don't know, I'm half Cantonese and half Taiwanese. So I wrote down a list on this receipt about my favorite foods that really make me feel connected to where I come from. So here we go. So the first one is boba. From what I understand, I think it's kind of up for debate if boba actually came from Taiwan. But since I've been to Taiwan many times before, and since they're so good at boba, I'm willing to just take it for me. Like, I'm not gonna try to start any wars about, like, where boba actually came from, but in my head, like, it does make me feel more connected to where I come from, and to see so many people in this country like it so much, that also feels very good. The second one that I have is Xiao Long Bao. I believe Americans call it soup dumplings, which, sure, you can call it soup dumplings, but I really don't call, like, what's in these dumplings soup. I kind of just call it, like, a broth almost. Like it kind of makes it sound like these are like little pouches of liquid, which part of it is liquid, but it's mainly the meat and how juicy the meat is that makes the soup. So I really don't call it soup necessarily, but you know what, it's fine. Call it soup if you want to make it sound more palatable to you. So if you guys don't know, there's actually a Taiwan restaurant that is very, very famous. So famous that they've actually are only now making their way here to the States. This restaurant is called Typhon. This place is extremely famous for its Xiao Long Bao. I just don't know how else to explain it besides that they just do everything right with it. Like, the skin is just like so nicely like thin, and like the folding of the dumpling is so meticulous. The juices that come out of the meat is so good, and like everything is just so methodical, but also like there's so much love and care put into the food that they make. I've also been to the one in Taiwan, and everywhere you go, the service is so great, and they always make sure that you have a really, really special, great experience. Yeah, so you guys should definitely try it out. If you don't like it at first, definitely keep trying it in different places, because there's some places that do it really well, and there's some places that do not do it well. Third is Hong Kong milk tea. Yes, Hong Kong actually has its very own like special brand and style of doing a hot milk tea. It just tastes a lot more warm and comforting than typical milk tea. Oh, and the fourth one is dim sum. For those of you who don't know, dim sum is not just, you know, like a giant Chinese thing that, you know, is everywhere. Dim sum, from what I understand, Hong Kong is known for its dim sum culture. Most of the dim sum places that I go to, I hear people speaking Cantonese, and my dad is able to communicate with them. And so, like, I guess those things combined, it really gives me this sense, again, of pride for being at least part Cantonese, because it just feels like I have a direct connection with this very unconventional food culture, I guess. Because the kind of dim sum that I grew up with was they would have carts with the dishes, like, freshly made on them, and there would always be these cute but also very aggressive old ladies that would be pushing these carts around the tables, like making rounds, and they would always be super pushy about food and everything, and they would only be able to make friends with people that spoke Cantonese, like my dad. Growing up, I wasn't very appreciative of all the Asian culture that my parents were exposing me to, but I'm really glad they did, because even to this day, having dim sum just brings me back to my childhood. Those are just a few things that make me feel really connected to my culture and where I come from. I think it would be a great exchange experience for me also to hear what connects you to your culture. It's doing small things like eating food or going to karaoke for me that gives me that extra ounce of self-love that, cool, thank you so much for listening. I really, really appreciate you as always. Happy API Heritage Month, everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye!